All right, folks, she's a pharmacist who is mixing more than drugs. She's come up with some flavor concoctions that aid in reducing some health risks, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. She's known as Dr. Flavor, and she's the CEO of Dr. FLAVA SPICES. Her goal is to help people get healthier by ensuring their food tastes good with low sodium and salt-free natural seasonings. Joining us right now from Atlanta is the author of the Pharmacist Guide, How to Health Yourself, Dr. Tremaine Jones Unfiltered. Glad to have you on the show. So let's get into it. So how did this start? Where did it start when you decided to play mixologist with spices?
Well, first of all, thank you, Roland, for having me on the show. This happened about 5 years ago, and I was solving not only a problem for America, but for myself. I realized that so many of my patients over the years suffered from diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, and health really begins in the kitchen. And then I love to cook, but it took so much to get my food to taste good. So I said, let me go in the kitchen and start blending and mixing some spices together and see what I come up with. But number one, what was so important to me was that it be lower sodium, because you know our community loves flavor, but we tend to use things that has too much salt. And that salt is what's causing the high blood pressure that leads to heart disease, which is killing our community.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is it. And look, people, I mean, they want their stuff to taste good. And it's interesting because, you know, I know folks, they want to throw hot sauce or Tabasco sauce and look at spices with lots of salt without realizing that, well, when you actually look at, there are a multitude of spices out there. And when you put them together, you can get your taste, but it doesn't have to, again, have that major salt taste.
Exactly. So a lot of the traditional ones that a lot of us grew up eating has so much salt. So it's recommended you only have a teaspoon of salt a day. Okay, that's 2,300 milligrams of sodium. Well, if you're using traditional seasonings over the counter, well, not over the counter, but on the shelves, it typically has between 220 and 350 milligrams of salt. And the reason that so many of us are having so many health problems is because we're eating 30 to 50 tons of food over our lifetime. And this is why food plays such an important role. I believe that if more people get in the kitchen, they have the confidence behind them. That's what Dr. FLAVA Spices provides. They're going to cook at home, and they're going to also save money, save time, and they're going to be able to take control of their health. That's the one thing that you can do, cooking at home. And Dr. FLAVA Spices is going to help with that.
All right, Teresa, how often are you mixing things up in the kitchen?
Well, I am mixing things up every Sunday.
Once a week?
Once a week. It lasts for 3 days. But no, well, one, congratulations to you and your product. So I'm guessing this is sold online. Are you in retail stores? How can we purchase your product?
So right now, currently, we are an e-commerce store. I'm working behind the scenes to get us in on the shelves. I actually had a meeting today, but right now, currently e-commerce, people can buy them. We have been helping thousands of people lower their blood pressure or either control their blood pressure. And people who are maybe switching over to vegan, these spices are so good that you really can taste the flavors on your vegetables. And you don't have to be afraid about eating more vegetables and eating less meat, because it's packed with 8 to 13 herbs and spices. Traditionally, they put a lot of fillers in their spices. There are no fillers, nothing but pure herbs and spices, premium spices that are blended. And, you know, I don't know if many of you know, but Coca-Cola actually was made by a pharmacist. So, hey, you got another pharmacist who created this amazing seasoning line.
Mustafa.
Dr. Flavor, thank you, because I got a whole bunch of folks in my family who suffer from hypertension. I think there's like, what, 100 million people in our country, something like that, who has that problem. I'm curious. I'm a vegetarian, not a vegan. I want to know, what are your top 2 or 3 flavors that folks are gravitating towards?
So the original, I have it right here. So the original everything, this is your all-purpose seasoning, okay? It has a smoky flair to it. but this can make your food taste a little bit more like it has a little bit of meat inside of it. So original everything is a go-to. Then I have the Nola twist. I went to school in New Orleans. I'm an HBCU grad, Xavier University of Louisiana. So I was inspired to have some of that New Orleans influence. So Nola twist is perfect for your vegetables. I love this. It has like a garlic herb flavor. And then the Creole lemon pepper. You know I'm here in Atlanta, right? So I gotta have the lemon pepper, but ours is all natural, no yellow dyes that are toxic, and this will really up your food. So those are my top 3. I would say I have created over 13, and right now 6 are available. I just bought back my sweet potato pie just for a little while. It's usually seasonal, but the sweet potato pie is also a great option for you as well.
Okay, so now again, what's that Creole mix? Look, my maternal grandparents came from Opelousas, Louisiana, and so I understand that. My favorite, but Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning is my favorite, and so I don't use no Lowry's, but that's the one that I use. So now what's your mix again? What is it?
So okay, so you're gonna get rid of that Tony's, right? I went to school in New Orleans and I ate that, but I found it was too salty or too spicy. So I have
Well,
a
but no,
Creole.
remember they got like 3 or 4, which actually has one that has far less salt. So I use that one, not the main one.
Yes, but it also has sugar, and that's what I teach people. So I go into the grocery store and I'm like, yeah, it says no lower sodium, but it has sugar inside of there. So they're adding the sugar to help compensate with the less salt. So I always teach people to read those food labels so that you can identify what you're putting in your body. You have to be your own advocate first. So, I am a pharmacist as well. So I do have the spice line, but I'm all about proactive living. And like the other gentleman said, if you know it runs in your family, start early. I'm 41. I've been really proactively working on my health since I was in my 20s. And it's something that is important that we're working on in identifying some of the causes. If it's in our family, then we need to be proactive, exercising, eating healthier. We don't have to wait until we're getting in our late 40s and 50s and decide, oh, I need to do something proactively.
All right then. Give the website again.
It's drflavaspices.com. They can go ahead and shop. I love meeting new people. So sometimes I'm at the Black Wall Street here, the Black Coffee Company in Atlanta. You can catch me there. I'm so excited to meet more people and help us to live a healthier life.
All right then. Well, we certainly appreciate Dr. Flavor. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.